Hi, this is Ms. Hurtado, and this is my discussion board entry for Module 4. So what would I consider the highlight of this course? I actually really have enjoyed our discussion boards, particularly the video ones. And while I'm not really a fan of recording myself or hearing my own voice or seeing myself on camera, I thought that for an online class, this was a really great opportunity for us to feel like we were dialoguing with each other, and it didn't feel so isolated. So I really enjoyed that. I also felt like it was kind of like a way for us to be able to bounce ideas off each other. I found myself relating to a lot of my classmates we had similar ideas with content, and I also learned a lot of new ideas from you guys as well. So one thing that I was surprised to learn academically was with the lesson planning. That was something that I was really intimidated by in the beginning of this course. Looking over the syllabus, the lesson planning was quite something that made me very nervous. I just thought I didn't know how I would create something from scratch, and I was so worried with the requirements of the state, like how are you going to do this? And the way that the course was set up that allowed you to work up to your lesson plan with your learning objective and with the standard, it really made the whole lesson planning a lot less intimidating. So I was really glad to be able to work up to the lesson plan in that way. So one thing that I was surprised about myself for this course was I don't particularly like online courses. I have an issue with procrastination and time management. So that was a worry for me doing this class fully online, not having any in-class sessions at all. However, the way it was laid out with, the discussion boards and the responses, I felt like I did the best in this course, time management wise, than I had in any other online course before. I wasn't perfect, but I feel like I made an improvement personally. So part 2, the importance of reflection. Why is reflection important to lesson planning? I think that you have an opportunity to see what you did wrong and as well as what you did right. You kind of get this chance to view your work from a different point of view. It's almost like you kind of get to sit on the outside and look in. And so what forms of assessment do I plan to use with future students? I think that in a science class, there are a magnitude of assessments that you could do, ranging from labs and essays and presentations and just different types of readings and question and answer things. But for me, for a formative assessment, I really like the idea of having small groups together and giving those groups, giving each group a question kind of to work off and have them discuss that. And then that gives me the opportunity to walk around to each group and kind of hear what they're talking about. You could also do this where you give them something to create. So within their small groups and answering their questions, you could ask them to diagram something out. I'm a big fan of drawing, even though I'm not a great drawer. I'm a big fan of just being able to diagram things because it helps me remember stuff. So you could do that in the group. I also like the idea, I've talked about this before, Socratic seminars. You could either 1, speak on a current event issue, or 2, maybe just a specific topic and, formulate your questions to match whatever that is. And then of course, labs. I think labs are a great hands-on experience for kids. And I think the more labs you do and the more opportunity that you give kids to go through an assignment like that from start to finish, reading your pre-lab. So understanding what you're actually doing and getting your background information on it, and then taking that and applying it to a lab where you're actually working and doing the steps and having to follow those directions, and then producing some sort of small assessment from that. So whether it's a essay or maybe something orally written in the form of like a lab report, I think are great ideas. And then for summative, I think that tests are kind of, for me, a good way to get a handle on what students know. I'm not a big fan of multiple choice, but I think that having a test that encompasses several different varieties, so you have multiple choice, matching, maybe short answer, maybe, diagramming, I think that makes it a little less intimidating when you're given the choice over things. And I think too, like if you do short answer, maybe give three choices and ask the students to pick one. I'm always grateful when professors have done that in the past for myself. And I think that you can use these assessments moving forward with how you would teach your content. So for myself, you could look at both your formative and your summative assessments and see what your students have grasped. For the formative assessments, you can see if you need to spend more time on a topic or if you can just go ahead and move on if the majority of the class has it. And then as far as your summative assessment goes, if everybody didn't grasp the material, that that's an opportunity for you to also reflect on yourself because that you didn't do something right in your lesson planning to convey the important information.